Broadband from a world perspective is towards a unification of technologies. Satellite, of course, is a very appropriate technology for broad areas, large coverage, continent-wide service delivery, and has always and will always be the most cost-effective means for multicasting and distributing over large distances. But there are other components, and as a service provider, the objective is to always deliver the highest quality at the lowest cost with the most value to all customer segments. And so it's important that, and we thought this year we would focus on other dimensions beyond our broadband wireless, broadband satellite technology, including broadband terrestrial wireless. So I'm going to provide a little overview, first of all, of the company. We had some major milestones last year. Most importantly, we are now publicly traded. Hughes was acquired from DirecTV Group, from News Corp, and the sale took place last year. We're now traded, as shown on the NASDAQ exchange, as Hughes. In fact, I'm happy to say last week we had our earnings report, and the company's stock rose almost 4%. So we are now very much in the eye of investors, and excited about our partners here in this region, in Russia and the CIS market. We are one of the faster growing components of Hughes. Not in absolute numbers the largest, but certainly very healthy growth, and I'll talk about that today. So our business is managed network services, as we put it, for enterprises, governments, and now, in fact, an ISP-type service model for consumers and small businesses. We still continue to lead the world in numbers of sites and broadband VSAT sites, and we continue to drive the technology towards, again, greater value, lower cost, and more service potential. As shown in the bottom, our numbers last year, about $860 million in revenue, and over 1,500 employees. We expect this year to be a strong year for us, and possibly to break the billion-dollar potential. From a point of view of all our products, I could talk for days, so I'm only going to take a minute. Most of you may understand our portfolio. From the left side, our wireless and mobile satellite platforms, including in the mobile satellite world, and I'll talk a little about the emerging capability for IP television, in particular to mobile devices. But we are a supplier to companies like Thuraya, Mobile Satellite Ventures, TerraStar Networks, ICO, and this world of mobile satellite and cellular combination, if you will, is something that we think has great potential in the future. So the combination of GSM networks and satellite delivery to GSM base stations is an emerging and very exciting potential. Again, part of this concept of unified broadband. It's not just satellite, it's not just mobile, and it's not just terrestrial. In the satellite space per se, we continue to drive into the various retail, various vertical sectors in the enterprise world, retail, oil and gas, automotive, and so on. And the propositions continue to be attractive for most companies. We're also developing, and we are now positioned to launch this year in August, our new Spaceway technology, which will be the first satellite in the world to switch on board. Microphone over now to Vinay Patel to explore the terrestrial microwave product line as a component of this formula of multiple technologies to yield the highest success equation. And I want to again close by thanking you all for taking the opportunity to visit. And we're here at your disposal today to discuss any and all issues that are pertinent to this exciting world of broadband.
have extensive experience not only in fixed wireless but in mobile data. In the United States, we developed something called CDPD, Cellular Digital Packet Data, which is a forerunner of the GSM, GPRS, and Edge type technologies. And we also built vehicle location systems integrated into cars and then coupled back on with the data network through the satellite system. So we've got extensive experience in the mobile industry as well as fixed wireless industries, and of course you know about our satellite experience. All this has come together to build a point-to-multipoint terrestrial microwave product, which I'll be describing to you today. So what is point-to-multipoint? In a very simplified form, in the lower left you can see two diagrams. In the lower left is a point-to-point architecture. If you want to connect up n locations, you would end up deploying 2 times n sites. And you would need 2 times n frequencies, 2 times n installations, 2 times n of headaches. With point-to-multipoint, you basically have one base station called a hub site on the right side. With one base station, with a 90-degree coverage, with 180 degrees coverage, you can then provide geographic service to all the customers in that area. They could be mobile operators, they could be Wi-Fi hotspots, they could be WiMAX base stations, they could be lease line customers, they could be hotels, it could be apartments, businesses, whatever. With n stations, you only need n plus 1 installations. And you need only one frequency because that frequency is shared among all the users. And the capacity in that sector, as I'll explain later, could approach 100 megabits or more. And if you have 4 of these sectors in a base station, you have 400 megabits of capacity. And then you can overlay additional channels to create a gigabit of capacity if you wanted to. So we're talking about fiber equivalent service in a metropolitan area. And the range, the reason I say it's a metropolitan area is the range is going to be 3 to 5 kilometers. And so it's ideal for cities and urban areas.
Is towards a unification of technologies. And as a service provider, most importantly, we are now publicly traded. Hughes in Russia and the CIS market, we are one of the, for enterprises, governments, and now, in fact, we still continue to lead the world in numbers of sites and brought about $860 million in revenue and over 1,500. From a point of view of from the left side, our wireless and mobile satellite platforms. I'll talk a little about the emerging capability for IP, various vertical sectors in the enterprise world, retail for most companies. We're also developing, and we are now small to the large network from P in one box. In one box, one can deliver phone basically or fax lines with typical. We also have what's called ACM, and 20% of throughput potential without having to increase. Adaptive coding modulation yields the lowest cost per megabit. Globally, we have over. We see that potential coming to Russia in the near future. We are pursuing a model in 2007. He's forecasting potentially a doubling to close to $1 billion in the cellular world globally. The large companies that we all understand drive Mobile Satellite Ventures and ICO, more advanced, independent of distance, and very experience not only in fixed wireless but in mobile data graphic in the United service to all the customers. You have 400 megabits of capacity, and then you can overlay. Some customers may try to backhaul the traffic using terrestrial copper lines. So we'll have a drop insert type of a solution. It's really a number of different cell sites. Broadband. So those 60 stations can share the capacity, share the traffic. Very clean solution, simple solution, easy to manage platform, easy to one network platform on which you have a simple platform. You're providing different kinds of services. Max base station, great opportunity. Fixed wireless services, providing broadband 4G technology.
by putting, let's say you were a PMP remote terminal, and you can also connect PMP equipment to a DSLAM, to a voice over IP, maybe some infrastructure type trunk. We've also tested it with TDD technology, Nextel, which is but we know that it doesn't rain all the time. We know it rains deployed. If you can backhaul such number